Hello, I'm Steve Pillows, Senior Circuit Steward, and I'm welcoming you to the Wirral Methodist Circuit Centre. We're very proud of this building, which is on the site of Thingwall Methodist Church, which closed about 5 years ago. And the circuit took the bold decision to keep the building and refurbish it as a centre where we could house most of our lay employees, and also a place where we could bring together people from the circuit to meet together, have meetings, social time, and also a place where resources would be available. So come and have a look round.
Hi, I'm Steve Cooper, I'm the circuit manager. More about that later, but this is the outside space at the rear of the circuit centre. As you can see, we've got a fair bit of space, and that enables us to do a number of things. We've had some social activities here for the staff and the staff team and circuit stewards. We had a circuit service here, which was a recognition of many of the lay roles across the circuit and dedication of those who are employed in the circuit life. So this is the Aldersgate room. It's the large space that we have. At the moment it's set up for the children and schools team, as they're using it as a studio to deliver Hope Journey sessions, and at the moment it's set up as for Meet the Characters, the Christmas story. The large green tent effect at the moment is set up as a stable, but it's also used as an Anderson shelter when they are doing remembrance sessions. But this room, we hold most of the circuit committees in here, up to and including often the local preachers meeting. It will comfortably seat about 40 people in sort of normal rows, or up to about 20 people around tables. So quite an adaptable space. And 2 or 3 churches have used it as a base for leadership team away days and the like. We're all equipped with television screens to connect to computers and so on. Next to the Aldersgate room is what's called the resource area. Unfortunately, often it looks a little less tidy than it might, because it gets used for producing resources, volunteers often coming in and helping with that, and also storing some of the sort of circuit libraries, in particular libraries of resources for the children's and youth team. You'll have seen earlier on that we're able, outside there's a large car park at the centre, so that's very helpful because it is in a residential area. Obviously we're filming this during the COVID lockdown, and so most people are working from home as much as possible and only using the centre when they need to be in for various reasons. This office is the normal home of the children's school and youth team, 4 people, 3.6 full-time equivalents, including the team leader, and they are here to provide to churches and to local schools connections and opportunities for work. They don't necessarily do the work, but they equip and enable churches to work with children, young people and with schools in a very effective way. And this is the circuit office where I am normally to be found, although again at the moment most of the time I'm working from home. This houses obviously the circuit records, and as the circuit manager my remit has been to look after the day-to-day finance, administration, governance, supporting the plan making and producing process, and really all sorts of stuff that the intention is to help relieve the ordained staff of some of the governance burden that they often struggle with, and therefore to release them for the work that they're better equipped for and indeed called for. and the desk at the far end of the room is used by our FUS coordinator. FUS is a project providing free school uniforms to various, well, for pupils to various schools right across the Wirral circuit. And this is her working desk, although she spends most of her time out in the various centres and hubs and schools. Okay, so moving on, this is obviously now a corridor. It was part of the original chapel, and we've separated it out into offices. You've just seen the children's school team, and the circuit office is the other side of the corridor. And here is what is normally used as a chapel. It's what was the frontage of the chapel when Thingwall Methodist Church was in use. At the moment, to enable social distancing, it's laid out for the children's school and youth team to have a working space as necessary. But normally we can hold up to around about 15 to 20 people comfortably, and in normal circumstances we hold worship every Wednesday lunchtime, which is open to all. Obviously the team, whoever's in the office, is encouraged to come, and there's often volunteers too on a Wednesday, but it is open to all, and occasionally we encourage staff and indeed one or two members of the community have come along to worship from time to time. And then through the centre there is, through the chapel, there is a small meeting room. That's Steve's hands coming in. Which was the old vestry of the chapel, and again it's sort of been put into a little bit of disarray at the moment, but it's really a space where just one or two people can have private and confidential meetings. It's sometimes used for sort of staff one-to-ones, particularly for the lay staff and their appraisals and so on and so forth. And the shelving holds what we're developing as a resource library for local preachers and worship leader training. Not heavily used, but various materials are available there.